Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. I hope that you are doing amazing. It is Tuesday, August the 12th, and this particular reading will be timeless. Start over. Aloha, beautiful souls. Welcome to your Aquarius reading. If you have an Aquarius sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign, or even an Aquarius stellium, this reading could be for you. As always, it will be a timeless reading, and if it resonates, take the parts that resonate. If it doesn't, just let them go. It wasn't your reading. Be sure to check your other birth chart placements to see if you have a message there. My name is Ocean Moonflower. This is Empress Moon Tarot 777. I'm short on time today, so we are going to hop right into it, Aquarius. I hope that you are doing amazing. All right. Tomorrow we have a podcast going up. So if you are connected to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, the Spotify, several other places, we have a podcast going up about the power of the shadow. The power of the shadow, your shadow side. All right, my darlings, let's see what we have for the sign of Aquarius. All right. Ten of Swords, crossed by the Five of Coins. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's going through this shiitake? I can't remember which cuss words I'm allowed to say on YouTube, and having a sailor potty mouth from being former military, well, you know, it's kind of hard for me to stop that. So I'll have to look into that. Ten of Swords crossed by the Five of Coins. Okay. Wow. King of Swords. That's you at the base. There's a Queen of Swords. Oh, wow. Okay. So we start off, our overall energy for your reading is that of temperance. And temperance it's about patience, obviously. But it's also, especially in your case, Aquarius, from what I'm seeing, when the temperance card comes up, it's almost like trying to keep your cool in the midst of chaos, in the midst of difficulty, in the midst of all kinds of things going on in your life, right? And so we see chaos, difficulty all around. We see that with these cards. I have to slide these. And we see that right here. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, you could be hit on all sides, which would explain the need for intense patience, right? So you could be hit on all sides. You could have received like several bills all at once, or multiple people are speaking badly of you, or you're receiving negative news after negative news after negative news, to the point where you may be manifesting more negative because you're sitting in that energy and you're having trouble to get beyond that energy. There seems to be a strong focus on a lack of money. So the Five of Coins crossing over this, what seems to be interfering with all of this is either a lack of money, a health issue, could be both here. So lack of money, health issue, possibly loss of a job, some sort of difficulty that has befallen you that has affected your ability to feel secure and stay safe, you know? So what is going on, Aquarius? Let me know. Let me know down below in the comments. My goodness. Now you have a beautiful outcome, so I'm going to note that. Your outcome switches to that of love. We do see love showing up in here. But let me just note that at present, the focus is on the fact that things aren't going your way. And so Aquarius, we have this intense focus on what is not going right for you. It could be that your mind is stuck in that place of, you know, things are not going right. And how do I get beyond this? And what do I need to do? How do I overcome this obstacle? You could be burning the midnight oil with that Ten of Swords, trying to figure out how to resolve this situation, because this is pretty intense. The Five of Coins, like I said, that could be health issue, it could be financial, it could be loss of job, could be two people romantically that are, at odds and apart from one another also. So there's several possibilities there. Now, the interesting part is at the root of everything, at the root of it all, we have the King of Swords. This is you standing in your truth, standing in your integrity, or needing to do so. This is also someone who may be coming forward with some communication that may help you find a way out of this negative energy, out of this difficult trial that you seem to have fallen into. When we have that Ten of Swords, it's often things that are coming from other people, other situations, other directions, right? So it's usually not something internally just for you, even though the swords has to do with thought and communication and things of that nature. Recent past, we have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, you could have been waiting to see some sort of financial abundance come your way. You could have been waiting to see some sort of movement. In some particular situation, you were in this waiting mode of, okay, I'm not too sure about this, so I'm going to sit here and wait, and hopefully there will be, your ships will come in, that something will come in to guide you forward. Now, interestingly, at the root of everything, we have the King of Swords, but at the crown, we have Judgment. And so this would be an indication of a need to make some sort of decision. It can also be you coming back to life after this very, very difficult time with the Five of Coins, Ten of Swords. You coming back to life after this difficult time. It's almost like, since it's on your mind space, it's, how do I overcome this situation? How do I come out of this situation? How do I come out of this situation ahead of the game? How do I come out of this situation and be able to move forward? Well, short term. Short term is great. Short term, we have the Ten of Cups. So, short term outcome, we see some happiness coming. It could just be that this tiny little speck of happiness that comes your way creates this really intense aspect of, beautiful energy because you've been going through so many difficulties. This could be you spending time with family as well. It could be you just spending time doing something that you enjoy, something that makes you feel a strong sense of emotional fulfillment, emotional contentment. Now, the Ten of Cups could also be you and another connecting on a very deep level. So if there's, somebody in your life who you have perhaps not been getting along with or have been having problems with that Ten of Swords, Five of Coins, perhaps the Mercury direct energy is now bringing you both to a point where you recognize and have gratitude for each other, and you recognize where happiness can lie. Does that make sense? So, let's see, those are your outcome. Advice from Spirit. Interesting. Queen of Swords. This King of Swords could be somebody else entirely. Keep forgetting. I keep thinking the camera's over here, but the camera's over here. Because we have a pair. We have two people who want to communicate. Two people who want to communicate. Two people who want to communicate clearly and, express their truth. So this is beautiful. This is also you gaining clarity on how to overcome this situation. So the Queen of Swords being here as your advice is you need to gain clarity on the situation, or you need to communicate. You may need to communicate with a female counterpart if you're male, right? You may need to communicate with somebody whom you have not been communicating with that Queen of Swords here. So that's an interesting one to get as your advice, Aquarius. It's interesting because that which you don't see is very tied in with the Ten of Cups. It's almost like this is the awareness of the emotional contentment, right? The awareness of the happiness, the awareness that you can have your emotions level and, feel a sense of, true contentment and bliss, and feel this sense that all of the negative things can be lifted. It's almost like with all the sun shining around the King of Cups head, it's almost like Spirit lifts all the difficulties as a result of people in your life with this Ten of Cups in order to bring about a sense of happiness, in order to bring about a sense of forward movement. Now, in your hopes and fears, you have the Eight of Wands. This literally could be about communication. Maybe you haven't been in communication with this person. Ten of Swords, feeling weighed down. Maybe you had an argument in the past with the Ten of Swords, or a misunderstanding. Definitely a misunderstanding with Mercury energy, right? Maybe you misunderstood their communication, or they misunderstood your communication. So there's this focus here on two people that you have a meeting of the minds, shall we say, two people that can come together and communicate. And with the Eight of Wands, there's this desire for it to be pleasant. There's this desire for movement forward in a very fast way. It's almost like you really want to get out of this negative space that you're in with that Ten of Swords, Five of Coins, and you're hoping for good news. There's little Bella behind us. Hello, little Miss Bailey girl. I don't know if you can hear it over the microphone. She's whining. She wants to go out on the patio, but the answer to that is not right now, young lady. So there's this focus on a desire and a hope that things do move forward very, very quickly. Or maybe you're hoping they're going to reach out to you first so you don't have to reach out to them. You know, maybe you're seeing it as, okay, well, I have to have this power dynamic. And power dynamics, it's such, it's silly. Feeling a need to have a power dynamic through communication. I mean, that could be what this worry is. We have two very powerful people here. Two people who speak truth and honesty, right? Two people who are very open and expressive. But sometimes being open and expressive can cause a sense of fear for some people when they're not used to it. Sometimes it can feel a little bit intense. So perhaps the intensity of this caused a step back with that Ten of Swords, but with the Ten of Cups, there's an awareness of your feelings. Now here's the interesting part, because we have a decision being made with the Lovers. This is the outcome, the decision being made with the Lovers. And what is the decision? I love this. It can't get more clear. With the Page of Wands, who is our messenger of what? A wand. And the wand is the message of creativity, passion, excitement. So we have the Page of Wands bringing the message, the Ace of Wands, bringing the message that you've been hoping for and wishing for. We've got 8 of them here. You're hoping for more than just one message. So we have somebody bringing the message that you've been hoping for, or you're bringing the message to somebody. And with the Six of Cups, we have this beautiful energy of, reminiscing about the past, reconnecting, communicating once again. It could be an energy of reunion as well. So I see, the biggest thing I see here is that somebody who is in tremendous conflict right now, mental conflict, as well as just conflict in general, has a need to connect with their perfect match. And one of the two of you is not speaking. I feel like it's this king. And the reason I say that is because she's got her hand out, the queen does, and her hand is like saying, well, I'm open to you communicating if you want to come communicate. So that's what she's got going on here. But yet that king's just staring at her. It's almost like somebody is watching you, or you are watching someone with the desire and intent to communicate and to speak truth, but yet the intensity of it with that Ten of Swords and the overthinking of the Ten of Swords, right? The intensity of it has put it on pause. So I feel like what has been paused and what has been blocked with the five of coins. So what has been blocked with that Five of Coins here, the block is being removed. And when the block is being removed, it's opening up the possibility for this communication to resume between the two of you. And I do see somebody has needed a little bit of time to reflect on how they're feeling. And also, potentially, what's going to make them most happy. So that is what I have for you, my dear Aquariuses. I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful day, and I will see you on your next reading. As always, comment down below, let me know what resonated. And if you know somebody who might be in need of this reading, please be sure to share it with them. Also, like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff down below. And if you need a personal reading from me, visit oceanmoonflower.com, and I shall see you again later. Mahalo nui loa, love and light, kiss kiss, and ta-ta for now. Ocean Moonflower, signing off.